Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are going to go over Shadowhunter builds. You got either your demonic or your perfect suppression. I'm going to go over my build. Currently I am running the perfect suppression build. If I got a little bit better of a stone, I ideally, for engravings, would keep, of course, perfect suppression at 1. And then have adrenaline up to level 3 if all possible, to get a little bit extra of that crit rate going up. Ambush 3, grudge 3, keen blunt 3, and raid captain level 3. That would be your 5x3 plus 1 if you got lucky and got the 9/7 stone. But of course, that requires you to be lucky. For the attribution points that I go through, crit and swiftness, mainly swift, but then start pumping up crit once we get a nice soft level of that. Feel comfortable. Now I'm going to go through and I'm running brutal cross for my skills. Another one that you can use is thrust impact for perfect, and you just run the following ones here. And just do that for a non-spender. If you end up needing a generator, then you just switch over to this one just to make sure that you have enough. But I comfortably can run through and play with no extra spenders and feel just fine. So for the skills, brutal cross, fist of darkness to increase that damage, because you don't need the additional crit rate, or you don't need the paralysis. You do want critical blow to get that nice critical damage up, as well as because you end up getting the crit rate from here to get additional damage, because you get additional range and damage, but just having that nice extra 30% crit is actually nice, because if you had that, you're actually over critting. Demonic slash, damage application, nimble movement, and change charge. And those are just nice. You can have that one boost up to get additional movement speed all the way up. Weakness, rising claw for your counter. You can run slasher if you want, but this one just feels more natural for me, and it ends up generating some of your meter if you need it when you do counter. And then if you get enough skill points, like down the road, when we get up to the 420, you can end up, maxing this one all the way out. Just make sure you don't disable the counterattack. Just more damage. And if you do crit on it, even more. How? You only need to get this one up to level 7 just to get the damage application. And then you want to get this to have the encroaching power level 5 tripod, just to get more of your meter. Demonstrate. This is actually one that you're going to have a good generator, so you're going to want cooldown on it, crit damage bonus on it, and cruel hand just for more damage. It generates a lot of meter and it's a big damage. Cruel cutter, you can switch between MP reduction or bleed. I'm going to go with the MP just because you're going to run. If you are playing optimally, you can spam out all your skills very well, rotate them all. You're going to run out of mana real fast. Range attack, just amp up the damage the further it goes. So it's a nice range attack. And this is one of your spenders. So make sure you have this tripod to get more damage out of it, and you'll be rocking really well. Sharpen cut, enhanced strike, vertical, and this one as well. It just feels nice, and it comes with the same thing, more damage. And then this is your other spender that does a lot of damage as well. Demolish, weak point detection, wave attack, and encroachment release. You want Gale Wind on that one. Conviction Judgment on Cruel Cutter and Sharpen Cut. Fits really nice. Demonstrate and Howl. Have your wealth. preferably wealth on Hal, your higher one, and then the lower one on Demonstrate. You can have bleed, or pretty much whatever you want on this one. I'd put bleed on it. Rage just fits really well with your demonic slash to increase your movement speed as well. And then another Gale went on Brutal Cross. For gems, I end up having the following set up on gems. Demolish gets both damage and cooldown. Same with Cruel Cutter. Sharpen Cut as well. Brutal Cross. Howl just gets a cooldown. Demonstrate. Actually, that needs to go like that. But Howl and Demonstrate, get a cooldown, and Demonstrate get damage. So, that's just kind of the setup for that. For the gear, when you can get full relic set, you're going to go for Entropy on this class. Entropy is going to be your biggest helper because you are going to be a back attacker. Get that extra crit rate and crit damage and more damage once we get to full 6-piece. So that's kind of your idea. And you just kind of want to go through, and when you're attacking and going through the skills, ideally if you can, you're going to want to get up and just kind of pump all your skills that you can. And just keep rotating. Use your non-spenders where you can, mainly your Brutal Cross, while you're trying to generate up your meter, and then you'll be set. Now, for what I go through, let me switch to my demonic. So for demonic, the biggest thing is we're not going to, of course, run perfect suppression or ambush, but you're going to have level 3 demonic, adrenaline, and grudge, and you can run with raid captain. Those are your biggest two things that you're swapping out. You're taking off that and that to bring in up that, and raid captain is going to be super nice because you're going to keep this at base, which my base is there. Spec, you're going to ideally achieve that and go with 500 in Swift. So 1500 just to get your identity gauge building up and feeling nice and well. For gems, you're going to go through, and actually you don't even really need that many gems. You only really need 2, but your biggest thing is going through and just getting your level 10 in demonic form and level 10 cooldown for demonic. Those are really your only 2 gems that you need, and you don't even really need crit. You're just going to end up going on your Light of Salvation set if you have it. Do not know where it is on here. Yeah, I don't know where it went. There it is. So ideally, take these off, put Light of Salvation for demonic, because you're going to have enough. Because currently mine is only up to there, but if you can, get higher up. But you're going to have that. And the reason why I'm saying go swiftness is because in demonic, you're going to, when you transform, you're like, mainly all this is just to generate meter. Get that. Try to get Howl off beforehand. But when you go into demonic, your movement speed's up by 20 and your health. So really, that's your biggest thing. Plus, with level 3, you're going to get 30% crit. So that is going to be your biggest thing to help you out there. So you get 20% easy right off that, plus the additional of going in an additional 8% there. The set that I would recommend is going to be the hallucination set to get the extra crit that you're going to be building up. naturally, and it's going to give you more damage as well. So you're at 20% there, plus the demonic 30, and then you get your adrenaline up there. You're going to be at the nice juicy 65% right off the bat, without having to have anybody else helping you out. That'll be your biggest help. And then you'll just kind of rotate through, get all of your abilities off that you can, and ideally you're just going to try to get your gauge up in one full rotation of your normal skills, just so you can pound out and get as much damage as possible. That's ideally what you're trying to do. Now, for the runes, though, so for skills, thrust, impact, demonic, rising, all as many generating skills as you can, and you want them up as high as possible. Swift thrust, deep thrust to get more damage out of it a little bit. Encroaching power is maxed out as possible, just to get more meter gain off of it. It's kind of same thing. Damage application, nimble movement, quick charge. Like all these can just be level 10. You're not really trying to get more damage out of your normal skills. You're trying to get it into your demonic form that has the higher damage. So you're just trying to get up there to get more damage and cooldown. And just making sure that you get, all the generating speeds. Make sure you're on State that you do not take this one, because then you won't generate any meter. Just kind of getting up that as high as you possibly can, just so that you can generate in one go, and it'll make it super easy, super fast. Definitely have your wealth on these two, because then you're at range. You can easily hit it, get more of your meter. Then in your demon form, have quick recharge, rage, bleed, gale wind, and a gale wind. Just kind of get them out as fast as possible. That's all you're really trying to do. So I know a couple other builds people go through and do is to have crit up at the 500, just so you have a natural crit up there, and then they're going to the poem for the skill set. So it is salvation set. They're just wanting to get more damage out that way. You can definitely do that if you want. But like I said, hallucination set is going to be your best bet, just because you're going to be spamming, you're going to be up close, you're going to get more extra damage, you're going to get a total of 25% extra. And it's about going to be the same as that. There might be slight little differences here and there, but you're going to get more out of this, just because your skills come off cooldown a little bit quicker, and you don't have to rely on getting your gems up later on. So hopefully this was helpful for the Shadowhunters to kind of give an idea of what to do and what to build as you were playing your character. And if it did, please leave a like, and we'll see you with the next one. So stay tuned. Catch you later.